Here we go. Here we go. What's up, guys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen? 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, February the 8th, and it's beautiful outside. I'm looking out my window, and it's hazy, gray, and muggy in Los Angeles, California, and I love it, man. And it's funny. Whatever you don't get on a regular basis, you crave, right? Or you enjoy. We get sunshine and 70 degrees 99% of the time. So for me, when it's cold and rainy in LA, it's like it's a dream. I just love it. It's the same way people feel in Alaska, where it's cold all year. If it's hot and nice one day, they freak out and have a blast. It's funny, you always enjoy more what you don't get on a regular basis. That's why long distance relationships work for me, because they just work better for me. Anyway, let me get off that subject, and here's the reason why I'm doing the video today. First of all, let's go legit. Morning coffee with Malan, Darras, official coffee. Cheers to everyone in YouTube land. The men, the women, the savages that tune in and watch this. I don't know who you are, but I love you. Listen, we just crossed 6,000 subscribers, which is amazing to me. I remember when I started this YouTube channel, I had 50 subscribers, and it was a leftover from the old days of Malan D TV that I used to do back in like 2006. And just slowly over time, it's been about 2 years, and it's grown to 6,000. Now, did I think it would be bigger? Yes. Would I like it to be 6 million? Of course. But you know what? 6,000, when you really think about it, there's 6,000 people that have tuned in to hear what I have to say. And to me, that's incredible. That's incredible. So thank you. We did it. If you've been paying attention, a lot of people have been talking about it over the last few weeks, like you're almost there, you're almost there. We did it, guys. So thank you for subscribing. I love you. Coffee cheers to 6,000. I was trying to think of what to talk about on here, because we can only talk about 6,000 subscribers for so long. Oh, but I did want to do one thing. The 6,000th subscriber, there's no prize for this, but right now I have 6,005 subscribers. So I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards. And the 6,000th subscriber is a guy named Eric Lee. So Eric Lee, if you're watching this, thank you, brother. You were the one and only 6,000th subscriber on the Malan D TV, Malan Darras YouTube, whatever channel. So thank you, man. A lot of you guys. Thank you, everybody, for spreading the word, for sharing things, for liking things. Man, but let's get into it. So I'm going to tell you what I did yesterday, and then I'm going to close with a poem that I think you'll enjoy. But yesterday, briefly, I'll go over this. Yesterday, I did something I haven't done in a long time, and I just let myself off the hook for work, for emails, for contacting people, for answering questions, for checking stats, for everything. If you guys don't know, I work from home, and when you're able to work from home, you think that it's like this freedom, that you'll have all this free time. But what happens if you're like me and you're kind of an obsessive person? You end up working all the time. Like, because you're working from home, there's no separation of going to the office and then coming home. You're just kind of always on the job. So I work constantly, never, not straight, but I'll do little shoots here. I'll do a shoot in the morning. I'll do some stuff in the afternoon, and then I'll do some stuff at night. So it's like a constant in and out of work. But yesterday I decided, let me just have some fun. So I loaded up on Chiba Chews, these medical marijuana edibles that I've been using to kind of relax during the daytime. They save my mood. If I wake up and I'm doom and gloom and depressed and anxiety, I just microdose this Chiba Chew stuff, and it works almost like a Prozac. It just kind of levels me out. All of a sudden, I don't feel so bad. I don't get high, but the air kind of sparkles, and I know that it's in my system. It's very similar to taking an antidepressant pain pill, but Chiba Chews aren't like morbidly addictive, morbidly expensive, and could possibly kill you. Some of the depression medications actually make people commit suicide. Makes no sense. Anyway, So I was microdosing with Chiba Chews yesterday, and I decided to go for it. I had no responsibilities. I wasn't going to drive. And so I did about 10 times more than I normally would in bits and pieces throughout the day. And the way that I entertained myself, if you guys don't know who Joe Rogan is, you have to look him up. If you're into, he's just into all kinds of cool stuff. Everything from UFC fighting to health and nutrition, to conspiracy theories, to religion, to science, to the universe, to everything. He covers everything on his podcast. It's probably the biggest podcast there is. I heard something like 110, 120 million downloads a month. But I fell down Joe's rabbit hole a few years ago via Martin Burkhand's Twitter feed. I looked to see who he was following, and I saw Joe Rogan, and I saw Joey Diaz, and that was it. 2 years later, a year and a half later, maybe 1 year later, I still watch him every day. Very entertaining stuff. Really high level, like intelligent conversations. You know, a lot of coffee, a lot of marijuana being smoked. Sometimes they drop acid. Like, it's really interesting. And they did an episode, the 911th episode of the podcast. And for this, they went all out, and they brought in the king of conspiracy theories himself, Alex Jones. I don't know if you know who he is. Look him up. He's like a lunatic, crazy, loud. He runs Infowars.com. He talks about aliens, sex predators in the government, all of these crazy conspiracy theories. But the thing is, he's incredibly intelligent. I don't believe everything he says. Of course not. I don't believe everything CNN says either. But I take it all with a grain of salt. But he's been right a lot of times. He'll have a crazy conspiracy theory, and everyone will say he's nuts. And then 6 months later, we'll find out it was true. So he has been right several times, so I don't totally discount the guy. Plus, he's just entertaining to watch, full of energy. So Joe, Alex, and a guy named Eddie Bravo get together in a room, and they go off. That's the only way I can describe it. They're drinking whiskey. They're smoking medical marijuana. Joe's drinking juice, taking alpha brains. They go for broke, and they just let Alex go unhinged. And what he spits out is some of the wildest, craziest conspiracy theory / possibly true stuff / insider information going on behind the scenes of the government and the politicians and everyone. And it starts crazy, and then it gets crazier, and then they just go off a bridge, and he starts talking about an alien pedophile ring that's running the world, controlled by, Google's building a artificial intelligence based on human thoughts that's slowly sucking up all of our energy and our thoughts and our brain power, and it's like all this crazy stuff. You have to go watch it if you're interested in that kind of stuff at all. If you're not interested in that stuff at all, you're going to really get pissed off because they go deep. But I decided to watch the whole thing. People have been telling me to watch it, and I finally did. And I drank 5 Monster energy drinks and microdosed that medical marijuana Chiba Chew edible. Drank a bunch of coffee, and I just had the most amazing ride. I was laughing by myself. I was shocked. I was horrified. Sometimes I wanted to turn it off because it was going too nuts, but I just let it play out, and I made it all the way to the end, and I'm glad I did because it was phenomenal. Even if you're not into the conspiracy theory stuff and you're, the media tells the truth, God is the only way, the Bible is 100% accurate. Even if you're like that, if you enjoy seeing people go nuts and just go off, it's something to watch. I had the time of my life. I woke up, I think around 2 p.m. it was over. And I took a nap because I was tired. I get up at like 3 a.m. And I took this nap, and I had the most beautiful nap I've ever had. Maybe 30 minutes. I woke up completely refreshed. I went on YouTube and I searched for sleep hypnosis, and I found this guy. If I can find him again, I'll put it in the description, but he walked me through something and put me to sleep, and I was out, like the deepest sleep I've ever had. 30 minutes, woke up so happy and feeling fantastic. That's what I did yesterday. So if you want to have some fun, go Google, search on YouTube for Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, and the next 3 hours of your day are going to be maniacal entertaining, and interesting. Check it out. If you're not into that, don't go watch it because it will set you off. But one thing, here's another thing that happened today. This is about the poem I want to close with. I have a robot. Part of the way that I'm able to run a business from my home with no employees is I have bots and robots and automations in certain areas that help me do things. One of the ways that I do this is I don't really share posts from my blog. If you haven't seen my blog, it's malandarras.com. I write about all kinds of stuff, affiliate marketing, the music stuff I'm doing, and depression, food experiments I'm trying, diet, nutrition, stuff like that. Just stuff that's going on in my life. And one of the things I like to do is keep the content out in front of people is I have a robot on my blog that chooses a blog post every couple of days and shares it on Facebook and Twitter. I don't have any control over it. I can tell it what categories to post and what not to, but right now I'm just letting it run free. And the post that it shared today, I had forgotten that I had ever even posted it. That's the cool thing. You'll see a post from me on my Facebook page from 2 years ago that you may not even know have existed, and you can read it, and then I get refreshed on it because people start commenting on it and saying thank you. And so it's an interesting thing. The robot has been bringing up some interesting blog posts lately. And today it did a great one that, like I said, I forgot that I recorded, but I want to read this poem to you. Or it's not a poem, it's just kind of a story. Because when I first heard it, it really helped me. As a guy, I'm a lunatic in some ways. My brain beats me up a lot of the time. I'm in a constant battle with the voice in my head saying, you're an idiot. You're fat. You're ugly. No one likes you. Don't go anywhere. I've been dealing with that since I was a kid. And this article really helped me. That's why I shared it on the blog. But I'm going to pull up my blog and just read it to you real quick. And then I'm going to go. And the poem is called, You Are Still Valuable. And it goes, if I took a $100 bill out of my pocket and offered it to you, obviously you would take it. But what if I crumbled it up and threw it on the ground? Would you still want it? Absolutely. Now, what if I told you that $100 bill had been used in drug deals and prostitution and had belonged to one of the worst people on the planet? Would you still want it? Of course. Why? Because the value isn't affected by its past. The value isn't determined by who it has been around or what's been done to it. The value can't be depreciated by anyone else. You have to realize that no matter what others have done to you or what labels they put on you, they cannot determine your value. Your past doesn't determine your future. And even though you know your mistakes and you know where you've been let down, you are still valuable, and nothing can change that. And it's true, man. It's true. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you for tuning in. As always, let's do a closing coffee cheers. Once again, thanks to everyone for subscribing. We hit 6,000. Boom. At this rate, if I can get to 10,000, I'm going to lose my mind. We're going to have a party on here. We're going to have some sort of an event here if I ever hit 10,000. But for now, 6,000 is fantastic. Now the goal is 7. We'll see if we can get there. But thank you guys for tuning in. I love you. I really appreciate you tuning in to hear what weird ramblings I have today. And I enjoy it. I just speak my mind. I don't plan it. And you kind of get the real deal. So anyway, have a great day. If you're in LA, enjoy this amazing, muggy, just dreary-looking haze that's hanging over the city and the light showers. Just beautiful. Go out for a walk. I did yesterday. It felt fantastic. And that's all I have to say. So stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. And as always, I will see you in the future.